Shabbat Shalom. This Shabbat has got a very special name. It is called Shabbat Hagadol, the Great Shabbat. And when we ask ourselves the question, why was it so great? One of the explanations given is that the Rabbi's drosha of this particular week was particularly long. The reason for that is the Shabbat before Pesach, and so many laws have to be discussed. What to do in terms of preparation for Pesach, cleaning the house, organizing the Seder, what food, how much food, etc., etc. And therefore, there was a huge crowd that would gather for the Shabbat Hagadol drasha, and not this year. So I want to preface my words about Shabbat Hagadol, about what happened historically. On this Shabbat, the Jewish people were commanded by Moses to take the lamb and prepare it for the Paschal sacrifice. In order to prepare an animal for sacrifice, the rule was you have to take the animal and leave it for 4 days. Make sure that there are no blemishes, and only then could they use it. When the Jewish people were told, take the lamb, on the surface it might seem a simple instruction. However, one of the gods that the Egyptians worshipped was a lamb. And thus the Jews had to take the symbol of Egypt's worship, tie it to their bedposts in total humiliation of the Egyptian society, and prepare for the Pesach. Pesach, therefore, by definition, is a festival of faith. Many years ago, they tell the story about a woman who arrived in Israel. And she's blessed after the Holocaust to have a son. And in those days, in the 1950s, you made sure that your son had a cap on wherever they went outside. And she's walking at the beach, and the child says, "Can I go into the water, Mum?" And as all parents know, and we say no, it really means yes. Okay, just go a little bit, but not too far. And while the little boy is playing at the beach, a huge wave comes, crashes over him, and Rahman al-Litzman, God forbid, the child is swept out to sea. The mother looks up to heaven and says, Ribono shel olam, Hashem, how can you do this to me after all that I did and survived the Holocaust? And I arrived in Israel, and I was finally got to get married. I was blessed with a son. You've taken the son from me. I can't handle this. You can't do this to me anymore. All of a sudden, there's another raging wave that barrels up and crashes to the shore, and spluttering, the boy looks up to his mum. And the mum looks up to God and says, "Where's his hat?" When we listen to the story and we think about it for a moment, we are living the life of this mother. Things have gone crazy. Most of us are now locked down, stuck at home, can't go out. And we're complaining. And the complaint is, like the mother, I'm missing the hat. These things are really not that important. Yes, we'd like to be outside. Yes, we would like to be with our friends. But where are we at the moment? We are at home. And we are blessed with all the creature comforts of the first world. When our children complain about the slow internet, or we complain that there's nothing to watch on Netflix, remember that though there were those who survived not just physical plagues, but any of the stories of the Holocaust will tell you that they hid, not for 2 weeks, for months, and sometimes even years. And they had no internet. They had to be silent all day. Think about the story of Anne Frank. Because one little noise could call on the authorities and could signal your death. So we, like that old woman, we have our children. Some of us are blessed to have them in our homes, and some of us can only look at them via Skype or Zoom or FaceTime or WhatsApp, whatever your preferred video conferencing technology is. But that's a cap. We are blessed to have our children. We are blessed to live in a country or in countries that we are safe. And we need to have perspective. Parashat Shabbat Hagadol, in the lead up to Pesach, is teaching this very important lesson. How to have the right perspective in a time of global chaos. We only have to look at the story of Noah and the ark. God says to him that a destruction is coming. Go into the ark with the animals and stay there. Can anyone imagine what Noah must have felt, being with all those animals, the stink, caring for the animals day and night, week in, week out, 40 days of rain outside, knowing that you're only surviving because of your boat, and hopefully as an amateur carpenter you've done the right thing. But he survived. And he comes out, him and his children and the animals. At the end of the day, the flood will recede, will end, and the waters will recede. And the world that you're going to enter in will be very different from the one that we left when we went into social isolation and separation. And the important point to remember is that we're not isolated, we are merely separated. And here is a call to the community. Make sure to call friends, family, and loved ones. Make a list of 2 or 3 people, and every day just check in on them. How are they going? Do they need anything? Because there are those who have their families around them, and there are those that are alone. But there have been others that have survived far worse situations than we have to deal with. At the end of the day, I'm always reminded by the story that Natan Sharansky told here in Sydney about being in solitary confinement in the gulags. And he would say to us, what kept him sane, what kept him going, was that knowing that every Sunday there were Jews demonstrating at the Russian Soviet embassy in Australia, in New York, in London. And even though he could not talk to anyone, he knew that people were thinking of him. We don't live in that world. We are able to call on friends and family and loved ones. We are socially separating to save lives. That is our duty at this moment. And if we complain about it, we are just complaining that we're missing a cap. We will get through this, and we will come out of it and build the world and continue on our way. Shabbat Hagadol starts the process in the lead up to the festival of Pesach. And as we know, in Pesach, the Jews were told with Makat Bechorot, lock yourselves away in houses. And when the doors are opened, you'll be free as a people, and you'll make the world of difference. May the doors to our houses keep us safe from this virus, and may the doors of our homes be open soon, so that we can return to our social lives, our friends, our synagogues, and continue the journey together. Wishing you all Shabbat Shalom.